All right, you're on.
Hi, this is Daniel Sirota, Chair of the IWIB Apprenticeship Committee. My day job, Vice President of Government and Public Affairs for Aon, and recently in the employer representative for the Department of Labor's Committee on Apprenticeship. I'm excited to give everyone kind of a deep dive at a little bit of a high level of kind of what we're doing in the Apprenticeship Committee in the IWIB, and something that I've been very passionate, excited about the opportunity for the state. This committee is one that we are an active committee. We're with some big goals and big charges that we're looking to really implement. One of those charges is to expand apprenticeship geographics to new industries, normalizing this as kind of the new normal with employers, and really the value add of workforce solutions that are out there. Another big charge for our committee is DE&I, really focused on that, understanding it based on geographics, but how do we plug in employers to start thinking about this long term and making apprenticeship as part of their pathway moving forward. Some of the other charges that we have is really formalizing the system. A lot of players in this space, whether you think about educational partners, whether you think about workforce development organizations, whether you think about, some of the nonprofits in the space, actually creating that formalized ecosystem where they're all talking to each other. And then, one of the other big charges is really formalizing capacity, making sure there's enough resources available, as well as getting more opportunities for employers as well as job seekers to being able to move forward. Some of the key priorities is making apprenticeships the new normal. So that's a really big one for us, really trying to drive that this is a great option for employers to start looking at, identifying the factors that may be affected of enrollment, retention, completion, again, diverse apprenticeships across the board. We already did number 2, which is creating a statewide plan in partnership with our committee. We really focused on how employers and folks can talk to one another, as well as workforce partners, education partners, to really be collaborating and working together. This one is also extremely, I just brought it up, more of a collaboration effort. How can we get all the stakeholders to start working together instead in silos? I did a listening tour when I first became chair, really focused on each lane of what are concerns, what do you see, where are there opportunities? And one of the biggest things that I noticed is that people aren't talking to one another. We need more of a coordination effort to work together for the job seeker to making sure they're going into the program with success, and for the employer making sure they know who to go to for resources and partnership. And making it easier, right? Which I just talked to again, which is how do we make it easier for both sides to being able to work on creating a program? That's the goal of our committee. Our committee is doers. I really want to have people that want to actually do work in this committee, be engaged, want to be able to communicate and talk about opportunities, be present, promote at events and things that are out there, and really talking to employers about what the ROI, the value of apprentice programs is, and what the future might be in this space. New jobs are being created based off new technologies, new funding. How can apprenticeships fit within that employer to create more jobs? Our committee's focus is to really do that and really grow that pie. So we have a couple of task force work groups that are a part of it. This year, we started our Apprentice Ambassador program, which is really focused on the ambassador of an apprentice. So a person that has either gone through a program, has in the middle of their program, or just starting, to being able to be spokespeople about the value. We tend to hear all the time about employers and education partners and workforce partners but we never hear from the individual. And the story is so tremendous that from every sector, from every opportunity, apprenticeship may be a filler of a job growth and an opportunity. And that's what that committee is really focused on. And then the marketing group within the name continue to find ways to promote apprenticeship things that are happening across the state, events, different venues, promotion, materials, and really finding out details about what employers are looking for and how can we tailor it to them. The youth apprenticeship one, we just had Youth Apprenticeship Week in May. Part of it is really focused at the high school level. How do we create that pathway for that young individual to be able to take that next step to go to an employer? So really from great leadership from Laz Lopez is really taking this to the next level of growth and potential. Some past groups that we've had, the pre-apprenticeship work group. This was ran by Manny Rodriguez over at Revolution Workshop, and really talking about that pre-notion, the pre-employment, setting up people to being able to have that on-the-job training, and then being ready to go into the workforce. We did a proposed rule comment letter for the National Apprenticeship Act, really focused on looking at this as an opportunity for the state to comment on behalf of employers and job seekers and educational partners on things that we would want to see differently. That's the first time our committee has commented on a federal rule, and I think it provided tremendous value. And then we also had a group talking about, as I stated earlier, on the 5-year apprenticeship expansion plan, which I think we did a great job laying out our thoughts, our future, and our vision, and our goals to be able to hit those targets. How does the work of the AIC fit into the workforce system more broadly? I think apprenticeship is the future. I think there's so much opportunity that we haven't even touched yet of jobs, of roles, of sectors, and of growth. And I think it takes a community, an ecosystem to being able to grow that through a workforce development system. Our job is to help build that, but create a partnership for that to make it easier for employers to do it. The best thing that we've noticed and that we've seen is if employers start jumping in, more employers want to be able to also do it, but they need help. They need a pathway. So we need to be able to create a strong system in place to being able to do that. And I'm excited of what we've grown so far and what the future may hold here.